Welcome back, everybody, to Unboxed Live. It's time for another episode where we unbox all the stuff that you want. And today, you've got Jiles, and also Producer Drake is in the house. Producer Drake, throw yourself up there and say hi to everybody.
Oh,
That's all you get out of Producer Drake, ladies and gentlemen. That's about it. But I just wanted to say welcome to the show. And we've got another large one. And okay, this one apparently knows things because it's seen things, right? So this is one of the most interesting and sad shipping jobs by FedEx ever. This thing has just been through the ringer 3 or 4 times. I mean, it's almost halfway open on this side, and I'm desperately hoping that there was not supposed to be anything inside of this chamber, because there's not anything inside of this chamber now. But we'll see how the packaging fared, what obviously is a really, really, really hard trip this thing's been through. So first off, a little bit of background. So this is the Q990D flagship soundbar from Samsung. Now, I did a live stream with Samsung, I guess this past Tuesday, and we talked about this quite a bit. So if you want a little bit of grounding in the background of this 2024 flagship model from Samsung, you can go watch that video. Well, and this, I guess, is the next level of advancement in the content around the sound products from Samsung, as that we're going to unbox this today and take a look and see what's inside of here. Now, the next piece after that will be the actual video. Something's beeping. I guess that's the microwave. I don't know. Welcome to live streaming, where all kinds of things will happen all the time. And the next piece of content will be where we actually review this, right? And I'll probably review in this room with the TCL TV back here behind me. And probably after I finish with the Atlantic Technology, these white beasts right here, which are amazing speakers. They sound so good. But we're going to go ahead and get into this one today. So let's take a look at the box, and we'll see what we've got here on this side. It's all pretty much the same. You get some Samsung branding, and it says Soundbar Q990D, and the D is reflective of this being a 2024 model. So the 2023 models were C's. This one is a D. Same on this side. Here, it just points that this is up. So I obviously have it upside down right now. But I did that because this is all ripped open, so I'm going to open from this side regardless. And then on this side, it says Soundbar Q990D. So let's get into this thing and see what it looks like. Utility knife and a little bit of tape here. Usually the way that soundbars are packaged on smaller units, whoo, God, this thing has been through the ringer. You usually have like a stalk on one side and then a big lump on the bottom, because they'll put the subwoofer down here, but the soundbar will extend all the way across. I assume that the soundbar will be across the entire width of this unit, and then there just will be other stuff packaged here on top. But we will struggle through this and huff and puff a little bit and see what we got going on. All right. You know, I'll have to return this at some point, and it's going to be probably not super easy to deal with to get back. Okay, so this has been completely ripped open already. And it's like an origami in here to a certain extent. All right, so we have, I assume these are going to be the surround speakers. We'll find out in a little bit. And then this is the subwoofer. If I can keep from dropping it, I assume that's the subwoofer. All right, they have dropped this enough times that it actually shattered the styrofoam in here. We have a box of stuff. And then I think the rest of this is just the actual sound bar at the bottom. And maybe I can flip this and get that out a little more easily. I don't know, maybe. Where are we at? Okay, let's get some top-down action on this so we can see a little bit better. And for anyone that's joined, welcome to the show. We are unboxing the Samsung Q990D flagship 2024 soundbar from a box that FedEx treated not too kindly. All right, so this is styrofoam around the soundbar. Ooh, I think it has survived. I think. Oh man, that's pretty schwanky. That's pretty schwanky indeed. Oh gosh, it's this soundbar is way heavier than I expected. It's heavy. This got to be a good 20 pounds of soundbar. All right, and I think that's everything that's inside of the box. So I'm going to move this off to the side, get this out of the way, and then we can start unboxing the rest of this. And I feel like this thing is going to disintegrate when I move it. All right, so let's get in close here and take a look and see what we've got going on with this soundbar. So Drake, can you zoom in over here? Okay. So I can see we've got an up-firing speaker here and another here. Samsung branded. This is metal, it feels like. It's very cool to the touch. It's all perforated. And you have what I consider to be the kind of the standard complement of soundbar buttons for Samsung, the plus and minus, and then a mute, and then a circle. This thing is 6 inches deep, so I can't imagine that you would mount it sticking out that far from the wall. I guess you could if you wanted to. Let me flip this up. You're going to have speakers. I can see a number of speakers behind the grill here. On the bottom, we've got connectivity. We've got 3 HDMI here. As I rub the microphone, I'm sure that sounded great. Power here. And over here we have digital audio in, which is optical or SPDIF, Toslink, if you want to say. On the rear, we have nothing. So there's nothing back there whatsoever. So that's what we've got on the soundbar itself. And there's a long sticker on top, which I will probably remove at some point. And where should I put this? Good question. Let's just move it here to the back a little bit, and we'll come around with other stuff. So we have a box, nondescript, that we're going to open. Oh, it's got a pull tab. That brings part of the box with it, but that's okay, I suppose. Okay, inside of here, we've got instructions and a lot of stuff. So here is the remote. It passed, it says passed. And it's got a QR code. I don't know what the QR code goes to. And to open this up, I almost have to rip that, but I'm not. And this is a very standard looking Samsung remote control. It is not a kind that will charge by photocell. There are batteries that are removable. We have accessory feet. All right. There are only 2 accessory feet in this bag. We have some wall mount brackets. And then a plethora of cables. We have, they do give us extra piece of styrofoam, HDMI, and then assorted power cables. Okay. These are going to be for the 2 surrounds, subwoofer, and then for the actual unit itself. So they're all US double prong ungrounded cords, which is fine. And that's the entirety. Last but not least, AAA batteries, which is nice. Sometimes you don't get batteries, and that's never fun. Okay. So there's the accessories box. Now we'll move on to the surrounds, which I think they're the surrounds. I'm almost certain that they'll be surrounds. All right. Never want to poke a speaker in a bad spot. It's rounded there. So, yeah, this is going to be the bottom. There are feet down here. And I'll take this one out as well. These are wireless, so you don't need to run speaker cable to them. They are powered, so they have their own amplification inside. So let's give you a reveal here. Boom. And then boom. All right, so let's take a look and see what we got going on. Speaker, speaker, no speaker, speaker. So we have 3. This must be the rear. All right. And then on this guy, front, nothing on the inside. Speaker, speaker, or speaker, speaker, speaker. So 3. So I guess you would, I'll have to figure out where if this inward speaker should be firing toward us or if it should be firing toward the wall. I'm going to assume, I really don't know. I have no idea. Obviously, you've got a up firing Atmos and then a front firing. So if you're going to point them to us, this could bounce. If we do this, this could bounce rear surround. These could be side surrounds, and this could be Atmos. Maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe that's the design. Very nice in any event. All right, and for the folks that are just joining us, we are unboxing the Samsung Q550 or Q990D. As we get a camera here. There we go. Come on, producer Drake. He's back there talking. So, producer Drake, throw yourself up real quick. So, what do you think so far? We haven't got to the subwoofer yet, but what are you thinking about this sound bar? I mean, if you look, we have that little tiny white one over there. What do you think about this? What's your first impression?
I think it looks pretty good, but you're going to need a big spot for the sound bar.
It is pretty huge, huh? So this is a 65-inch television. Let's go back up on camera 2 and do a comparison. So this is almost as wide as a 65-inch TV. So I don't think this would be useful with anything smaller than a 65-inch television. So you make a really good point about the size of this unit, right? And these, we're going to need some kind of stand for these, I would think. There's no way to attach a stand on the bottom. However, there is a mounting point on the rear. So you could wall mount them, or if you have a stand that's got a hook kind of mount, that would work. Otherwise, just use a regular stand and it'll sit on top of it unattached, which is fine. Okay, so we're going to move on to the subwoofer. So let's stay on one for this. Okay, we've got the bottom down here. Yeah, there are some feet. Port back here. I'm trying to not squish anything that I shouldn't. Oh, there. That seems kind of touchy. Okay. This almost is a kind of a two-person job to unbox this thing. All right. So we have a matte black finish on the sub, which matches the... No, not exactly match. This is more of a brushed aluminum look. This is more of a matte black finish. All right, so we have a side firing subwoofer. Looks like maybe an 8-inch. As you can see here, ported design, power in. We have a link button. And then if you take us over to 3, you can see in a second. Okay, so you're here. Okay, so you can see there's producer Drake is like, let's go, it's ready. Although the camera's pointing over here. There's nothing on this side. It's completely blank, as is this side. There's no obvious Samsung badging on it. So, and we're looking at 10 inches maybe on the width. We're doing maybe 18 on the depth, and about the same, I guess. It's probably a square. And producer Drake.
Cheb Ruben says, thank you for talking Samsung sound bars.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining us on the show today. I know that it's a holiday for most everybody, so a lot of people aren't going to be joining. Hopefully they get an opportunity to watch this back later, but thank you so much for joining in. For those that are just joining, as you can see here laid out in front of me, we have the 4 different pieces of the Samsung soundbar, the Q990D, the 2024 flagship model, the actual soundbar itself, the subwoofer, and the 2 surround sound speakers. And I believe that the total number of drivers in this system was 22. And I believe that's inclusive of, one channel being the sub and one being the center. So that gives us the even number of 22. But, there are just 6 here by itself, 1 here, and then there's a lot of speakers going on here. But that gets us to the end. So we've got this unboxed. We'll be setting this up in this room, leveraging the TCL TV that I've got back here. And then we're going to see how this thing performs in a 5.1 surround, 11 dot whatever. So it's a huge number of speakers. But I'll go over all of that in the review. But so far, I'm very impressed by the build. And I think maybe the thing that impresses me the most is the way that this equipment apparently has survived the trip here unscathed in that box. So if you remember at the beginning, the box was just absolutely trashed. I mean, it was horrible. But I think everything physically looks okay. Now, functionally, we'll find out, fingers crossed, but I see no observable damage. So good job on whoever's working at Samsung that does the industrial design for the packing materials. I can tell you this one was put through the ringer dropped multiple times, absolutely for sure, because some of the internal styrofoam had cracked from the drop weight. But everything here looks wonderful. So thank you so much, designers. And then to Samsung themselves, and particularly Mr. Keycheck and all the folks from the marketing team, thanks for sending this over for me to review, to get the message out to all of our friends out there in the world. Remember, I'm a huge Samsung fan, and I really love their gear, and I'm looking forward to having my first experience in my home with their flagship soundbar equipment. And that's going to bring us to our end. Special thanks to producer Drake. Drake, take a bow. Say bye to everybody. All right.
Bye.
Well done, producer Drake. And with that, I will see you all next week. Remember, I have 3 streams every week on Tuesdays. I've got Jiles McCoy Tech Talk live. On Sundays, I do the Hi-Fi Mafia at 2 o'clock Mountain Time. So that's 4 Eastern. And then at 4 o'clock Mountain Time, I do Unbox Live with Drake and Jiles, and that is this show. Next week, I'm not sure exactly what we've got on the show, on the schedule, because there are a lot of things to unbox. I got in a robot pool cleaner to unbox. I don't have a pool, but I have a cool robot pool cleaner that I'm going to unbox at some point, but a bunch more hi-fi gear as well as a really cool computer case that I want everyone to see also. So a lot of cool stuff to come. And with that, we're done. See you guys in the next video.